Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I saw this from Val Jester Locke here on Twitter, and he retweets out this Bloomberg article. So apparently there has been a global cybersecurity crisis after a Chinese hack targeted Microsoft's business email software. I'm going to bring up this article just talking a little bit about this. The US is expressing growing concern over a hack on Microsoft's Exchange email software that the tech company has blamed on China. This is an active threat. The White House press secretary Jen Psaki said on Friday, everyone running these servers, government, private sector, academia, needs to act now to patch them. Microsoft said hackers had used its email server to attack their targets. It is reported that tens of thousands of U.S. organizations may be impacted. And so here is the tweet from the National Security Council. Patching and mitigation is not remediation if the servers have already been compromised. It is essential that any organization with a vulnerable server take immediate measures to determine if they were already targeted. Guys, we're going to be seeing this more and more in the coming years. You think the pandemic is bad? Well, Klaus Schwab has already warned us that we could even see what he dubs a cyber pandemic, and I did a video on that a few months ago, guys. If you didn't catch that, I'll link that up here in the top right-hand corner. As for this current China hack, they are targeting governments, likely banks, anybody basically running on the Microsoft server, and so nobody's safe, or at least it feels that way. We haven't heard too much about cryptocurrency exchanges being hacked as of late, although I am sure that those haven't stopped either. The price of Bitcoin has been rallying right now at $50,600. We could see Bitcoin was rallying yesterday, and as the prices of cryptocurrencies rally, we tend to see more hacks. Guys, this is why I use a Ledger Nano S. I do have an affiliate link in the description for that cold storage solution. Not your keys, not your crypto. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. I am giving 2 away. We do have to reach 70,000 subscribers. We're getting there, guys. If you still aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'm giving 2 away, but we have to reach 70,000 by March 31st. I'm giving them away on April 1st. So yeah, I don't think it's going to end here, guys. As the crypto market rallies, we have seen quite a rebound over the last 24 hours or so. Bitcoin up 6.74%, Ethereum up 8.42%, Binance Coin up 7.86%, Cardano 2.97%, Polkadot up 6.83%, and XRP up 1.92%. The market cap has grown as well, $1.56 trillion. Yet Bitcoin dominance still hovering in and around that 60% level, give or take. So we are seeing the market rally, and so this will give more incentive for hackers, in my opinion, to definitely attack the vulnerable exchanges. I saw this from XRPCRYPTOWOLF. U.S. Senate passes a $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and if you are an American citizen, you likely know about this. But what they're saying is that this could be a positive development for the cryptocurrency market. The Senate passed President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion beer flu relief package on Saturday in a possible positive development for cryptocurrencies. It gives some details on that. If you guys aren't familiar, the legislation would provide $300 in weekly unemployment benefits through early September, send $1,400 payments to some Americans, and direct $350 billion to state and local governments. Why this matters to the crypto world? Well, we've seen this in the past. Because the stimulus package would likely be a boost for stock markets, it could also provide a lift to the price of cryptocurrencies, particularly if stimulus check recipients use that money to buy cryptocurrencies. And as I mentioned, we have seen this in the past, and maybe based on this news alone, maybe we have already seen a bit of a front run here on the cryptocurrency space. As you guys can see, over the last 24 hours or so, Bitcoin has been rallying, hitting the 0.5 Fibonacci line, and we can see that it is cooling down a little bit here. I have it here on the hourly, so over the last few hours now, since early this morning, it has just kind of been hovering in and around that level at about $50,000, give or take. Bitcoin does have to make higher highs in order for this to be confirmed as a bullish trend. So this is the next target, the 0.618 level. So if Bitcoin can indeed rally past there, I would say we are confirmed bullish. It would be making higher lows and higher highs at that point. If we cannot breach this level and Bitcoin goes lower, then of course there could still be lower lows to be had for Bitcoin. We just have to wait and see. I also saw this, guys, from John Deaton. As of yesterday, we have over 2,700 XRP holders that have indicated an intent to participate in an action against the SEC. Although the SEC is already blaming the exchanges, my law firm receives emails hourly from the people who are just learning of it. So if you guys want an avenue to participate in this, you can go through this website here. John Deaton has just created a new website for this specific purpose. I will also leave this tweet thread here in the description of the video if you guys want to read further and get more details on that. So what else do we have going on here? This one from Michael at Val5 Links. Solo Ecosystem is about to launch its DEX, DEX, by the end of this month with its ETF and government-issued fiat. So this coming out from Solo. So Solo, or Sologenic, is an ecosystem enabling crypto trading and on-demand tokenization of assets like stocks. Sologenic's exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, and fiat with its decentralized exchange will soon be launched on the XRP ledger. As we know, these guys have been working on the XRP ledger for over a year now, and Bob Rass, the co-founder of Sologenic and chief executive officer of Coinfield, has revealed the launch via a tweet. So here's the tweet to that effect. The Sologenic DEX will be launched this month in mobile and web app versions. This coming from Bob Rass. Down here gives you some characteristics of the exchange and what the Solo ecosystem aims to offer, built upon the XRP ledger, providing tokenization options for a range of assets in the traditional financial markets. However, the platform aims to bridge the gap between traditional financial markets and the blockchain technology. To follow their aim, the platform will be allowing its users to invest in trading crypto assets and traditional assets from more than 30 global exchanges. So great news there. More development on the XRPL. I also saw this, guys, from XRPCRYPTOWOLF. XRP ledger-based DeFi Flare Finance launches oracles. So more news here coming out of the Flare Finance camp. According to Flare Finance's recent announcement, the product will have its own oracles and signal service. DeFi Oracle Instruments promotes itself as a multi-chain decentralized oracle platform, introducing oracles on Flare Finance. Flare Finance revealed that its pioneering decentralized oracle network and signal service, DeFi Oracles, will go live soon. This announcement is celebrated by a small giveaway from the Flare Finance team, and we have a tweet to that regard here. Thus, the infrastructure progress of Flare, a programmatic utility fork of XRPL, is gaining steam, as covered by You Today previously. Besides the onboarding of 3F assets, including FLTC, FXRP, and FDOGE, Flare also has Network Explorer, Flare Scan, and validation platform Scandinodes. So this is great. Another update here coming out of Flare Finance. And again, guys, if you want to read more, I do link all the articles down in the description of the video. Want to keep moving, though, because I wanted to get into this. Now, we were hearing about Coinbase going public, and this article kind of gets into the nuts and bolts about what this is going to mean for the crypto space in general. This coming from El Crypto King here on Twitter, posting this CoinDesk article here. So crypto long and short, how Coinbase going public is reshaping trust in markets. So we thought that this would happen, you know, once a big exchange finally goes public, because this is the first time in American history that a cryptocurrency related company has gone public on the stock exchange. So finally, this is what we've been waiting for. The U.S. Security and Exchange Commission has published Coinbase's S1, clearing the way for a direct listing on the NASDAQ. While some major details are still missing, most notably when the company plans to list, we now have a glimpse into how a major crypto exchange works, what it's worried about, and just how much the market is growing. The figures are indeed eye-opening in the fourth quarter of 2020 alone, guys, so get these numbers. The number of verified users on Coinbase's platform reached 43 million. Okay, this is after adding almost 45,000 new users per day. The average number of monthly transacting users grew by over 30% in the fourth quarter alone to 2.8 million people. Those numbers are huge, and of course, you know, with the crypto bull run, we are going to see more of this. And, you know, Coinbase, the other exchanges, they are basically just reaping the rewards of a bullish crypto market. And, you know, as the market goes bearish, these numbers decline, there's ebbs and flows. But right now we are in a bull run. Coinbase obviously doing really great in terms of business. And in my opinion and some others, it's going to be a gateway for the rest of the crypto space to be taken even more seriously. So also eye-opening in this inflow is institutional investors. So that is interesting to note as well. Something that we've talked about often in this column. Over the fourth quarter, institutional trading volume grew over 110% to $57 billion, while retail trading volume grew by almost 80%. The company services 7,000 institutional accounts. Down here, it talks a little bit more about their filings. They gave a nod to Satoshi Nakamoto. It talks about some specifics here with regards to opening the books, sharing concerns, market power. Guys, I will leave this all in the description of the video. I wanted to get down to phase 2, though. So zooming out even further, the Coinbase move delineates where we are in the arc of crypto impact on capital markets. Those of us who work in the crypto industry have been saying for some time that crypto markets will influence traditional markets more than most currently realize. What's becoming clearer now is that it will happen in phases. Right now, we're in the asset phase, where the value propositions and price potential of currencies and tokens dominate the mind share of traditional market participants. Companies that help investors onboard and manage their crypto holdings have center stage. We will also see traditional players tiptoe into the crypto pool to harness some of the attention-grabbing action for their clients. The first phase is about the assets themselves and facilitating access to them. The next phase will be how the assets move. And this is where I find this gets very interesting. Coinbase hints at this in the S1 document when it discusses traditional assets that move on blockchains, including in the outlines growth strategy is tokenize new assets. The section goes on. We will invest in infrastructure and regulatory clarity to pave a way for the digitization of more traditional financial assets to help pave the path for new assets to be represented as crypto assets. So even Coinbase understands that this is a process, and paving the way once we have regulatory clarity will be definitely important for infrastructure for cryptocurrencies. And they plan on investing in this. Another company, as a sidebar, who has been investing in a cryptocurrency ecosystem for real-world utility that has been hindered by the lack of regulatory clarity is Ripple, and of course, the XRP cryptocurrency. I feel like Coinbase, Ripple, the companies that realize that there are solutions out there that cryptocurrencies can solve for, and have tried to kind of trailblaze a path in that direction, have ultimately been hindered by US regulatory clarity, but that, I think, is going to eventually go away and become a thing of the past once we see more of these bigger companies become more legitimized by, offering an IPO on the NASDAQ, for example, in this example at least. It is worth remembering that Coinbase has participated in the funding rounds of several startups. Okay, we know about that. Some had hoped that Coinbase would set an example and come to market via a security token. Progress is being made, but the security token market is still too illiquid and immature to support such an ambitious step. Interest is building, however, supported by recent market events that have laid bare the inefficiencies of current capital market plumbing. So again, too illiquid, current capital market plumbing, obviously not robust enough to issue a security token in this regard. However, this is where we're seeing finance going, right? We are moving onto the blockchain DLT technologies, right? And we are basically going to be able to create value with anything via the blockchain. This is where Flare Finance comes into play. The Sologenic project as well is doing something similar. So we're seeing this all kind of happen, baby steps, but the regulatory clarity is still hindering the market. This is why the SEC lawsuit is, a real kind of milestone in a lot of ways. Positively, I'd like to say even, this is going to be maybe an unpopular opinion, but the fact that we have Ripple going through this right now, I think is going to be a turning point in the cryptocurrency industry. Mark my words. This is going to be a turning point, in my opinion. I think we'll get the clarity, and XRP will just kind of skyrocket out of that clarity as a side note. But it's also going to be a turning point for the rest of the market. We're going to see where the losers lie, where the winners lie, how much of the cryptocurrency market, the current crypto market, is going to just disappear. Right now, we have over 8,000, almost 9,000, guys, cryptocurrencies here listed on CoinMarketCap. 8,708 cryptocurrencies, and we've heard Brad Garlinghouse say in the past that 99% of them will likely disappear. That is because most of these cryptocurrencies do not have a use case, do not solve problems, and it's only going to be the cryptocurrencies that do solve problems that will really thrive. So I'd like to thank El Crypto King here for posting this. Again, I will link this in the description for you guys. I also saw this from Anders L talking about correspondent banking. Businesses deserve better. This is what Ripple is up against. XRP is the paradigm shift. And so this, just a quick excerpt from a Medium article. It's no wonder that banks have tried their best to keep competition out and keep innovation to a minimum. Cross-border payments are an extremely lucrative space. It goes on to say cross-border payments bring in more than $240 billion in revenue. Down here, according to McKinsey & Company, B2B payments represent 80% of all cross-border payment revenue, of which banks own a 90% share. So banks, obviously, a little shaken by the speed at which this technology is moving and basically encroaching on their territory, taking a chunk of the pie. Up until now, there has been little innovation in this space. space because there has been little need for banks to innovate. Very interesting to note here. Thanks so much to Anders L. for reiterating that for us. And so we have banks, right, unwilling to really want to innovate. Banks are being protected in a lot of regards by government and political officials. The government of the day, obviously, whoever's in there at that moment. Banks have lots of lobbying power, lots of money, and yet we are still seeing ties with the government and Ripple. And what I mean by that, and I know some of you guys might know this already, but I just wanted to bring up this tweet here, guys, from Tiffany Hayden. Originally, she was talking about, now this tweet goes on for many, many tweets, all the way back from July of 2020. I'm not going to read you guys the entire tweet thread because it's not really necessary. What I really wanted to focus in on is right down here, Tiffany Hayden mentions this back on July 14th, 2020, the fact that the IP address that Ryan had been using to host Ripple Trade for about 5 years and that of BitPay was somehow able to continue to be used was also home to RippleNet.com, TrustCash.com, SMSZ.net, Mark Karpels, and SmartContract.com, and the Pentagon dude I mentioned earlier, along with this website here. So what is she insinuating? Well, apparently, the government owned these websites, or there was at least a connection to some government organizations that had registered these websites as early as 2004 or 2005. The person here, Ryan, she's mentioning, and I know some of you guys might know this, but Ryan Fugger conceived Ripple in 2004 after working on a local exchange trading system in Vancouver, Canada. The intent was to create a monetary system that was decentralized and could effectively empower individuals and communities to create their own money. Fugger later built the first iteration of the system, RipplePay.com. And Tiffany Hayden is saying that a bunch of these websites, not RipplePay, I don't know if she mentions RipplePay specifically, but a bunch of these websites are already tied to the INSA. So I'm pretty sure that Ripple Communications is INSA. And so I was getting a little confused because we all know the NSA, right? The National Security Agency. I don't have to go over that. So what is the INSA? Well, the INSA is the Intelligence and National Security Alliance. They are a leading nonpartisan, nonprofit trade association for driving public-private partnerships to advance intelligence and national security priorities. Interesting to note that. Let me continue down here. As you guys can see, Bitcoins.com was also born on that IP. So, in 2005, Ripplecom.com, OpenCoin.com, RipplePay.com, and Bitcoins.com were using IP address 64.202.167.192. And she posts a screen grab just demonstrating that those were indeed the IP addresses for those particular domains. Now, it's interesting because if you take a look at some of these websites, well, Bitcoin.com, if you think about Satoshi Nakamoto, he was anti-authority, anti-government, anti-system, and yet, even before Bitcoin was released, Bitcoins.com was registered on the same IP address as Ripple.com, OpenCoin.com, and RipplePay.com. Let's go back to this. Fugger later built the first iteration of this system called none other than RipplePay.com. We also know that the name that Ripple first started under was OpenCoin, and that was also one of those domain names here that were registered with that same IP address. So this to me is a little confounding because I feel that on the one hand, the SEC is suing Ripple. But on the other hand, could the government have actually had something to do in the creation of Ripple? And, even if I go further, the creation of Bitcoin, perhaps as an experiment. And I know I've talked about this on this channel before, but, this is new information to me that all these websites were actually linked to the same IP address. So I apologize to you guys if you've seen this before. I thought this was interesting to note. Let's also not forget, guys, that whether we're talking about the INSA or the NSA, well, our pal here, David Schwartz, who is the CTO at Ripple, also had a brief contract with the NSA. David Schwartz, the CTO at Ripple, is one of the architects of the XRP ledger. Prior to joining Ripple, Schwartz was Chief Technical Officer for Webmaster Incorporated, a Santa Clara software developer. He developed encrypted cloud storage and enterprise messaging systems for organizations like CNN and the National Security Agency, otherwise known as the NSA. This happened in the late 80s, guys. I know some of you guys might know this already. So there's also another link here with Ripple, XRP, the National Security Agency, and the US government. And a lot of this, guys, happened before Bitcoin was even released into the public. Yet Bitcoins.com, Ripplecom.com, OpenCoin.com, and RipplePay.com were all on the same IP address in 2005, before cryptocurrency was even a thing. It seriously gets me asking more questions, but I want to hear down in the comments what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. We need to reach 70,000 subscribers by March 31st. I'm giving away 2 Ledger Nanos on April 1st, so all you have to do is subscribe and like the video if you like the content I'm providing. It's a free way to support the channel. I always love hearing what you guys have to say, so put a comment down there too. See you in the next one, guys.